before I start, anyone
Every man that I go out with,
who moves their hand like that, you just see them and you run the opposite direction. That's the biggest takeaway that you should have from this video. Now let's go into it. Let's get into it.
platonic or not, to pay for me.
If they ask for money, then already they are not platonic, they are not romantic, they are just not attracted to you, they are not interested in your hobbies and who you are as a person, and believe that your company is not enough as payment. Now, I'm not telling you that don't pay for women, and I would get to this in a while. But the whole thing is, if they are like this, of this sort, then they are not enjoying being around you, and they need you to pay the money for their enjoyment.
Period. And the reason that I do is because I know my value as a woman.
She's talking about this supposed fact that these dating roaches talk about, that a woman's time alone is worth a man's money. Like, what this doesn't ever bring into consideration is, what is the value of the man's time? What's the value of the man's feelings for you? Platonic, romantic, whatever that is. Why is that never brought into question? These are the people who will tell you, oh bro, why are not men ever opening up about their feelings? Why do men never show their feelings to us? Because our feelings don't matter. For most of us, that's the fact. That unless you're Chad, unless you are, and these are the kind of women who are old, ran through, who have probably been with men that they were attracted to, didn't ask money from, and now when they are older, they ask for money from whichever it is, be it their friend, be it their quote-unquote romantic partner, and they would tell you that their presence is worth your money. They weren't like this when they were younger. They would hang out with you for free. If anything, they would take part in an activity, go to your home if you are Chad, and then have something with you right there that you would cook there. You wouldn't have to pay for shit. You'd visit each other's home. And this is something that people have completely thrown out when it comes to friendships and relationships. These days, everything has to be at a grand place, unless, of course, you're Chad. Everything has to be paid for. Nothing has to be like, remember the times when we were younger and as male friends, we hung out together in the fields, in grounds, we played chess, all of that kind of stuff. The thing is, that's the same sort of thing I do with my female step cousin. We play chess, sometimes I just give in to her demands and we play business. Now, don't turn this shit into any kind of bad sort of joke. I don't want to take jokes on her. She is a genuinely good person and she's a child, so don't say shit about her. So that is the module of friendships, that you have shared interests, that you have a shared sense of longing for each other. So money is not a factor. If they are asking for money, it's more or less flat out telling on themselves that they are not interested in you as a person.
I understand my social currency, and you, my darling, need to understand.
You understand that the man you are going out with, you are not interested in him, and he is interested in you more than you are interested in him. That's the point. That's the whole point.
Social currency as well. That man is there with you, protecting you, providing for you.
Guys, protecting you and providing for you.
Caring for you. You are in his custody. For him to not pay for you.
Brutal. These people are always like this. These are like shell saws. You tell them that men want to be protectors and providers, and they would be like, oh, what are you protecting us from, other men? And they would be like, why do you want to provide for us? Historically, men have taken away resources from women. They have taken away resources from women and not allowed them to work. You should be providing for us. Like, dude, that's not the case. Men only provided for women because that was an evolutionary necessity. Human women are remarkably horrible when it comes to physical design. They can't birth children without assistance. They have extremely powerful immune responses, which often sends them to critical care. And allowing women to work, and by the way, women themselves choosing to work, was likely hindered by centuries because of this, until you had 20th century inventions, sanitation, modern hygiene, modern medicine, transport, and all of these things come into the fray. So working for women was easier. Now you have all of these. Why should men follow something that is not innately biological to them? And secondly, you would do all of this for a man that you are actually attracted to. You would bail Jeremy Meeks out of prison.
Insult. For him not to take care of you is an insult.
What about you taking care of the man as well? Why is it not mutual? Why does it have to be one-sided? It was only one-sided in history because it was impossible to be two-sided.
Because that man should want to provide.
This kind of thing actually really tells you what the patriarchy actually was. Women could not do those jobs. Women asked men to do those jobs and now blame men for taking away those jobs. And now when they are already making more money, they don't want to pay for shit unless you are Chad. That's the thing, guys. Men were never the ones taking away power from them. If that was the case, women would never give it away. Women are very likely to ask for shit like this, not do stuff themselves, and that is exactly what they did when the times were tougher.
To take care of you. So the way to do it, two different ways. One is when you're out on a date or you're going out to grab something to eat or whatever. At checkout,
I won't talk about what she's talking about. Like she's like, how to get a man paid for you, how to walk away with it. I'm not going to talk about that garbage. I'm just pointing out how fucked up this mentality is. And I'm being real with you guys. It's not like you should not pay for women. Pay and give everything to a woman who is willing to give away her life for you. Pay and give everything to a woman who is willing to stretch out her hand to pay the bill first. And these women are not limited to romantic partners or friends. It applies to your mothers, and also this applies to men as well. Your fathers, your sisters who look out for you. But never do the same for a woman who is not willing to take the fall for you. Don't take the fall for a woman who's not willing to take the fall for you first. That's what a woman is supposed to be in a relationship with you. And also, this is probably the most optimistic thing I would ever say, but don't be like Professor Jeremy Meeks, Saint Jeremy Meeks. If you are lucky enough to find a woman who is going to take care of you, pay her back. That's what you are supposed to do as a good human being. And don't cheat even if you have the chance to cheat. Of course, most of my audience doesn't have the chance to cheat. Most of you are just gonna grow up, delusion max, tell yourselves that this woman loves you when she clearly doesn't, and pay for her, quote unquote, pay for her time. If she believes that your time, that her time is worth the money, then she believes your time is worth nothing. And if she thinks that way, she is a textbook narcissist who's going to leave you as soon as you don't have any money. She is never going to come from you, fucking you. She doesn't want your company, and that's all. That's the truth about these kinds of women, and these are the kinds of women I tell you to avoid tooth and nail. Doesn't matter if you are going to remain incel throughout your life. Don't beat a bucks for these kinds of women. This is the thing I talked about in the previous post where I said there should be a healthy MGTOW women movement. There's a lot of guys out there who can do this gesturing, who can fall for this garbage, who can pay for these dates. Be the circus monkey and get these women. And the point is, you simply shouldn't. That is the whole point of the MGTOW movement. That is what should be the point of the MGTOW movement. And if I'm not wrong, it's only the MGTOWs in the middle who got away from it. Who are like, oh bro, we're gonna get revenge, bro. The earlier MGTOWs were kind of based. The earlier MGTOWs understood that we have been sent our own way and we have to be a circus monkey to ever get something. Yeah, you have been fired, but at least don't beg for the job back. Don't beg for your job back only to be given a lower position. That's supposed to be the idea of MGTOW.